Fresh off of a dominant first-round victory over the Vegas Golden Knights, the LA Kings are back. And in this episode, we take on the Vancouver Canucks in the second round. I mean, the first series really does speak for itself in terms of who stepped up, who was a little bit quiet, and ultimately, Matt Duchene proved to be a good signing for at least that series, if not in general. We expected this team to dominate, and dominate they did. I mean, again, despite the fact that some players perhaps underperformed, this team was pretty much firing on all cylinders. Everybody stepped up. Carter Hart was fantastic, and it really does set the stage now and gives us the opportunity heading into the second round matchup to, again, prove that it wasn't a fluke and prove that as defending champions, not only is this team legit, but we're the favorites to repeat. But of course, we got a long way to go before we get there. This is the Vancouver lineup that we are up against here in this series. We kick things off with the top line of Brock Boeser, Elias Pettersson, and Brad Lambert. So, interesting combination there. Boeser's deal is up. Pettersson signed for 6 years at $11.3 million. Easy for me to say. And Brad Lambert with a decent enough contract as well. Second line, you have Vasily Podkolzin. 8 goals in 4 games. Bo Horvat also there, as is JT Miller. So, interesting stuff all around. What are the money totals looking like? JT, decent contract. Really good contract for him, actually. Bo looking okay. Podkolzin as well. Third line, Arturi Lehkonen. Strong start for him. Max Domi and Brendan Gallagher, the Montreal line, for their third line. It came to them pretty cheap, as we have Niels Höglander on the fourth line alongside Ryan Barrett and Jesper Fast, who is drastically overpaid. It's a really good team. That top 6 is absurd. 491 overall players. That third line is fantastic. Your third line center is an 89 rated guy. It really does depend on what their defense and goaltending looks like, but that's going to be a 100 rated offense. I'd be shocked if it isn't. And the defense doesn't make it any easier. You have Quinn Hughes next to Brett Pesce, Caleb Jones, and Ryan Murray. Third pairing of Jakub Zboril and Mikhail Sundin, a third round pick of the Ottawa Senators once upon a time. So a pretty cheap third pairing. Quinn Hughes, big money there. The goaltender, and that's where they're struggling in terms of financials. However, Joonas Korpisalo was even better than Carter Hart in round 1. That is why we're not going to pay Carter Hart $11 million. That is exactly the reason. They have no injuries. Oskari Laaksonen, Jacob Larson, and Vitaly Abramov are the healthy scratches. So, they won, 45 games, was it, in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken? Indeed. They're certainly better than a 45-win season. I mean, this team, 100 offense, 93 defense, and despite the fact that we have the advantage on paper when it comes to goaltending, that does not mean a whole heck of a lot, does it? It's just going to come down to how this individual matchup plays out, but in terms of proving that last year wasn't a fluke and that we're legit, this is the team to beat to do just that. Again, a friendly reminder as well, the Ontario Reign have a very important Game 5 coming up in the near future. But for now, our focus is on the task at hand. Game 1 of our second round matchup here. We're getting right down to business in this series. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how we do. Again, time to really prove ourselves as if we needed to as defending champs. First period, and a deadlock score, 13 shots apiece. Very interesting start, a very competitive start between the two teams. Second period, and we have the advantage. Cale Clegg opens up the scoring. JT Miller's able to tie it. Dylan Genther gets the difference maker and has the difference maker to this point. A slight edge in shots, a slight edge on the board as we go to the start of the third period. Power play chance here for the Canucks is killed off. Power play chance of our own is also not taken advantage of. Vancouver back to the man advantage, and they score. It's Pettersson, but Genther, his second of the game. Matt Duchene, 2-for-1 special. It's 4-2, and the LA Kings, off the back of a strong effort from Dylan Guenther in particular. Take game 1, 37 shots to 33 in Vancouver's favor, but we get the job done. A great game yet again for Carter Hart. That cannot be overlooked. But again, Guenther 2 goals. Matt Duchene continuing to dominate. And it is a game 1 victory for your Los Angeles Kings. You'd love to see it. And they did some damage on the power play. Still a great game for Carter, despite allowing the 2 goals. And I mean, again, he's been fantastic. That'll obviously slightly lower the save percentage, but all that matters is the victory. And indeed, Carter walks away with the victory. The Ontario Reign move on. They win 3 in a row to advance after a rough start to that series. So the Reign move on. Dallas is up 1-0 on Minnesota. Pittsburgh and Ottawa also taking game 1. So game 2, we'll know the AHL team's not done yet. We'll be intrigued to follow along with them as well. But for now, I mean, obviously no changes to the lineup are necessary. We're just going to see how this plays out. First period, and a much better start for the Canucks. Brad Lambert, the lone goal. I mean, in theory, we had the shot advantage, but much better start for them as they get the only goal of the period. Second period, it gets worse. Pettersson scores. Duchene was able to get us back to within 1. Brock Besser makes it 3-1, 28 shots apiece. But so far, Vancouver finding a way to hit the back of the net. We have been unable to do so, at least as consistently. Power play for the Canucks, and that's going to do it. JT Miller, the power play goal. Brock Besser makes it 5 as Carter Hart struggles. The offense kind of disappears a little bit. Just the 1 goal past Joonas Korpisalo. Again, all the reasons in the world as Max Domi gets 1 as well as to why we won't be paying any goaltender $10 million. 6-1 is your final score as the Kings just simply don't show up and get completely outworked by Joonas Korpisalo. Because. I mean, Duchene and Kupari, the only players with points. Horrific games for Guenther, Grundstrom, Clay, Turcotte. And Corrali and Bjorn fought as well, but a lot of our big-name players let us down. None bigger than Carter Hart. I mean, obviously, he has the chance to steal any game that he plays in. He very much did not steal game 2. So we are tied at 1 apiece. I'm going to leave the team the same because I really don't think there's that much room for adjustment. Although, you know what, in saying that, let's take a look here. So Grundstrom, Turcotte, and Guenther have been quiet. Genther's clearly been a power play specialist. You know what? Let's try that old trick there. Just swap the wings. Attempt to give them somewhat of a different look. And maybe that'll help them on the top line because I really don't want to break up the second line. It's game 3. Before that, though, the Ontario Reign start their second-round matchup against the Stockton Heat. Of course, we'll continue to see what Juha, Curry, and others are able to do in the meantime. There we go, game 3. In Vancouver, a win would be gigantic. First period, and a fantastic start for your Los Angeles Kings. Good Lord. Savoy, Grundstrom, Guenther, and Madden. It was a short game for Korpisalo. Silovs, I guess it would be Silovs, can't do much in response either. 5 goals on 18 shots in that first period. And it was all Los Angeles, to say the least. Carl Grundstrom, welcome to this series. That top line providing 3 of the 5 goals. Second period, it gets worse. I mean, Quinn Hughes and Brock Besser scored, but Jared Anderson, Dolan, and Cale Clegg add 2 more. It is now 7-2. We're going to quick sim this third period, where we see more goals. Bo Horvat and Quinn Hughes, but Dylan Guenther caps it off. So 8-4 is your final score. 2 high-scoring affairs in consecutive games. Not the ideal performance again from Carter Hart. I'm a little bit worried. That's 2 rough games in a row. I mean, sure, we won, but, 4 goals against could have sunk us at the end of the day. And I mean, Korpisalo didn't even last 13 minutes. I wanted to see what that save percentage was. But looking here yet again, Carl Grundstrom, fantastic game. Van Kadishin, Guenther, Anderson, Dolan, and Turcotte, all tremendous. Savoy, Duchene, Kupari, But again, Carter Hart, a sub-900 save percentage for the second time in as many games. And if he doesn't clean up his work, I mean, we can't expect the offense to bail us out. Needless to say, they couldn't bail us out in Game 2. However, they do in Game 3. Dallas also up 2-1, as are the Penguins and the Maple Leafs. Matt Duchene still leading this team in scoring. We're going to see what kind of impact he can have here. It's game 4. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Huge chance here to take a death grip on this series. First period, and not a great start. JT Miller, Nils Höglander, and Brad Lambert. Toby Bjornfot gets one back, but again, Carter Hart is struggling right now. For as dominant as he was in that first series, he is on the opposite end of the spectrum here. Second period, it gets worse. Lekin and Horvat pulled Colson. Van Kadishin gets one back. Kalanos was actually subbed in. And both of our goalies have allowed 3 goals in the period. Lambert scores. Let's just sim this. Good God. 9-3. Your final score. Sean Corrali, the lone goal for us there. And it is essentially a best of 3 as we split the first 4 games of this series. And some serious questions over one Carter Hart. There has to be. And I mean, Jesus, you see these numbers. Absolutely horrific. Carter Hart gave up 3 goals on 6 shots to start the game, and Kalanos gave up 6 from there. I mean, what can you say about that? What can you even say about that? You know, we've had 2 losses where we've given up 15 goals over those 2 games. I mean, what do you want, you know? I think we're going to have to take a look at the team. I don't think we're going to be able to change any of the personnel, of course. The only thing we'd really be able to do is change out Sean Corrali, and I wouldn't even know for who. Dylan Genther has been solid this postseason. Turcotte still without a goal, which is devastating. Grundstrom now the 6 points in 8 games. Savoy's been great. Duchene's been great. And really, Kapari's been great. But the problem is that really limits, what we're going to be able to do here. I mean, I can't send down Genther. He's the only one that has to be on the top line. Which makes me wonder, we'd be without a sniper. But what if we just go Savoy, Duchene, Genther, and then Turcotte with Grundstrom and Kupari? Again, they're all playmakers, but they kind of fit, and that doesn't mean that they can't score. If we do change one to a sniper, it might work out. I mean, hell, Turcotte as a sniper might help wake him the hell up at this point. It's tough to say. And then third line, of course, Van Kadishin, Anderson Dolan, and Tyler Madden's been very quiet. Uncharacteristically quiet. I think we're going to do the swap if I can, and I can't. We just have to hope that line wakes up. It's the only answer. That line in particular has to wake up. The fourth line's still been okay. We need our guys to carry the weight here, and Alex Turcotte, the captain, without a goal, simply not good enough. Let's take a look here. Second pairing, still kind of hanging in there. Mo Marsh and Marcus Phillips have had a bit of a rough series. Not that I want to make a change here, because what change can we really make? I mean, again, Mauricio Drury not available as we would have wished. So it would be Spence, Van Allen, Patrick, Bankston. I think we have to stick with it. End of the day, we just need a better performance. That's what it comes down to. I think, too, we'll get a slightly different look on the power play here, as I'm not sure who kind of the right person is to change. I think we'll swap out Turcotte, get him down, and bump up Kupari, who's been pretty solid. And then unfortunately for Anisimov, who's the highest scoring guy here, Anisimov's been okay in terms of his production. And then penalty kill wise, I do wonder if we were to swap out Corrali. Let's just do that to get a slightly different look yet again. End of the day, Carter Hart down to a 921. He needs to step up here. This is a crucial 5th game in this series. Both times we've lost in this series, it was a blowout. Carter Hart pulled in the last game. Let's see how he responds. I mean, a huge moment here in terms of this series in general. First period, and who needs goaltending? 2 goals for Brad Lambert, 1 on the power play, but from there, Van Kadishin, and 2 goals for Matt Savoy. There were 4 goals scored in under 5 minutes to start this game. By the end of the first period, again, 2 goals for Savoy. It's a 3-2 lead for the Kings, 16 shots to 13. Defense need not apply. Second period, we add to it. Savoy gets the hat trick on the power play. Genther scores. And finally, Alex Turcotte gets a goal. It's a power play tally. 35 shots to 17. A dominant second period. We are up 6-2 heading into the third, trading power plays, and Barrett scores as it expires. Savoy gets it right back on the power play. What a game for our big name players. It's a 4-goal lead with half a period remaining, and I don't want to jinx it. We've seen crazier things happen as Pettersson scores with 5 minutes left. We've seen crazier things happen, but it looks like, and indeed, the Kings will have a chance to end this series in Game 6. A huge Game 5 victory, 7-4. The final score, 4 goals for Matthew Savoy. Dylan Genther as well. An incredibly strong performance. And you look here again, Carter Hart has had a brutal series, but we have a 3-2 series lead. I don't know how we've pulled it off. An unbelievable game for Savoy. Grundstrom and Duchesne, top line, or a combination of the top line. Of course, Grundstrom there. I wonder how the power play points happen to be for him. Plus minus, of course, we had quite a few power play goals, so it's not surprised to see some of those numbers. So 2 opportunities at the most to end this series. Game 6 will be the first of those 2 chances, as the Ontario Reign down 2-1 to Stockton. It's Dallas up 3-2 on Minnesota. Pittsburgh and Ottawa now with the advantages in their series. I'm not going to make any changes to this team. We have this. This team is good enough. It's just a matter of whether or not they can execute. It's Game 6. Can we end this series right here and right now? Let's find out. First period. And only 3 goals. I thought there were going to be more. Besser, Pettersson, but a power play goal from Alex Turcotte gets us back to within 1. We did well in terms of shot total, but, again, ultimately it just didn't happen for us there. Second period, Vancouver gets another one. It's Quinn Hughes on the power play. Third period, down by 2. Vancouver 20 minutes away from forcing a 7th game. Tyler Madden, the former Canucks prospect, might have something to say about that. We're back within 1. Power play here, though. 5-on-3 for the Canucks goes to waste, and Rick Van Kadishin ties it. 8 minutes left. 3 all. Brad Lambert. God damn it, Carter. Oh, don't let your last memory as a King be choking against the Canucks. Vancouver, off the goal from Brad Lambert, force Game 7 back in Los Angeles. Carter Hart, really? We hyped you up this much, and this is what you're doing, huh? Great game for Jared Anderson-Dolan. Unfortunately, Vince Dunn, Genther, Savoy, our big names failed us. Our big names absolutely failed us, including Carter Hart. I know you faced 44 shots, but you're Carter Hart. You need to be able to, steal that game for us, and you couldn't do it. So Game 7's on the horizon. There's only one series that is not going to Game 7. That is Ottawa punching their ticket to the Eastern Conference Final. On the flip side here, you have Ontario, now tied with Stockton. So our season is on the line. Whether or not we're able to win here, time will tell. Obviously Carter has to start here, but he has been abysmal in this series. Defensively, that third pairing needs to be changed. There's no other choice here. We can stick with the team that got us there, or you can kind of make that tough decision. And it's either we bring in the veteran and Derek Forbort, or we look at the likes of Jordan Spence, Ned Patrick. Of course, Spence has been given an opportunity before. Just kind of a tough call in terms of how he's going to fit in. So, So let's see. These players all like to pinch and shoot. Van Allen is a pinch and cycle. Now we go and compare that to this third pairing. Hold line and cycle. Yeah, so I think it would have to be Van Allen who were to get the call up. Maybe, actually, he's pinch and cycle. Oh, man. How does Forbort fit in? he's not the guy that I want to play here necessarily. But something has to be done because of the lack of maneuverability that we have on this team. So we're going to put Derek Forbort in this lineup. Mo Marsh can't be scratched. He also can't be moved up. Bjorn Foten and Isimov. Then you have Dunn and Clegg. And this is a tough call. A very tough call indeed. I want to leave that +3, obviously, and I will. We're just going to have these guys swap sides just to try and get something going. Fourth line, Wagner's fine. Corrali's fine. Luff is fine. I mean, they haven't been detriments, at least. Only guy we could take out is Corrali. And honestly, who are we going to put there? You know, I mean, we can sit there and call up Curry if we wanted to, or Powell. It's just not the right time. Third line has still been a tiny bit off, but we're going to leave it as is. So then the second line. Kapari's been great. Duchene's certainly woken up. It's kind of a tough call, but I do wonder if we reunite these particular lines, if it'll work. Probably not. I mean, again, 11 points, 8 points, 9 points. Genther has to be on that top line. You know what? Yeah, let's stick with what kind of got us some momentum there down the back half. This is it. This is the team. A must-win situation. Otherwise, we blow a huge opportunity at being able to win back-to-back cups. I mean, again, you know, it's only the second round, but we had a feeling Vancouver would be a challenge. We didn't think it would be this big of a challenge. Game 7. Let's see what happens. Is this going to be Carter Hart's last game as a member of the Kings? First period, 1 goal apiece. Vince Dunn and Bo Horvat. I mean, 9 seconds apart as well. Interesting time splits there. Second period, Vancouver with the lead. It's JT Miller on the power play. We go to the third, down by 1. Power play for the Canucks. It's killed off. Matt Luff gets the goal of all players. We're tied at 2. Huge goal there from the fourth liner. We're halfway through the third. The next goal could hold up as the winner. 2 minutes to play. And you know, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't there be overtime in this instance? You know, why wouldn't there be? Oh, boy. All right. You know, is there a particular jersey I want to see the boys rocking here? Not really. I mean, I do love the 2016-17 alternate. It is fantastic. And let's give Vancouver the old stick and rink, maybe. You got the white stick and rink, don't you? Where's that one at? Do you not have the old white stick and rink? Do you not? I thought, ooh, pretty. There it is. It's a bit further back than I thought it was. All right. Well, time to see how this one pans out. It had to be this way. It had to be this way. That is the only way I can possibly even describe this. Next goal wins. Oh, buckle up. It's gonna be interesting. You know it is. That's how these work. The Kings looking to avoid completely choking. We'll see whether or not we can do that. Lambert, the early chance, offsides, very clearly off at the moment. And we'll see how that affects the gameplay. Chance here, now down the half side. Drops it back from Marsh, turns it over. Barrett with space. He's in. Denied by Hart. Huge stop. Second chance. Dished back to the point. A little bit of trouble. Genther fighting for it. Pesce has it. Quinn Hughes all the way back to Pesce. You gotta love the blue line being non-existent. Pesce. Chance again. Hughes. Shot nearly deflected and off of Besser. Chance again now. Lambert, Barrett, Hughes intercepted by Savoy. Dylan Genther. Minute 25 to play. The big move. Duchene drops back for Grundstrom, fresh off of the bench. Chance here. Duchene denied by the blocker of Over the line, looking, Tojak shot stopped by Hart. Able to hold that one tight to the chest. And we survive a scare. Good chances here early on for both teams. Horvat against Turcotte on the draw. We need this stop. Chance, won by Horvat. Murray one-timer blocked down in front. Great job. Clegg turns it over, though. Miller has it. Tried to throw it in front, couldn't get it there. Here's Kapari. Final minute of regulation here in Game 7. Turcotte for Clegg. Slap shot blocked. Pulled. Colson has it now on the rush. Vince Dunn able to get it back, though. Kapari takes the huge hit. Horvat. A little bit of space. Now it's pulled Colson. He'll drop back. Great movement from the Canucks. Jones has it. Looking back to the point. Miller again for Jones. Pulled Colson. Can't pull the trigger. Here comes Grundstrom. Couple of quick passes here from the Kings. Windmill drops it all the way back for Anisimov. Now Grundstrom denied by the glove of Korpisalo. What a save. It's third line v first line. We have the energy edge. Anderson, Dolan, and Pettersson on the draw. And again, another win for the Canucks. Sundin able to move it over. Bjornfot tries to fight for it. Dishes it all the way down to the zone. Anderson, Dolan, Van Kadishin, the big body. Anisimov tried to go down low. Sundin was there. 5 seconds. Pettersson looking. The move. Still looking. Lambert doesn't pull the trigger. It's overtime here in Game 7. Because why not? 43 shots apiece. And it's not enough time to decide it. It comes down to this. The next goal will win this game. I should probably turn on True Broadcast, but I never remember to turn it back. Pettersson turns it over. Brock Besser now for Brad Lambert. Turns it over here in return. Vince Dunn. A little bit of space to work with. Cuts back. Cale Clegg for Dunn. Back again. They don't know what they're doing. Savoy for Dunn. Clegg. Savoy. Dunn. Pass. 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 Genther for Duchesne. Trying to hold on to it. He does. Couple of quick passes again. Genther loses it. Unbelievable AI display there. You'll love to see it. They didn't actually tell us to change lines. Everyone stays out. Hart makes the point blank save. Huge moment there. And a big stop. The AI. Oh, the AI. Horvat wins another draw. Hughes denied by the glove. Carter Hart, a huge save yet again. Great wide open shooting opportunity again for 92 overall, Quinn Hughes. Turcotte on the draw. Tie up. Kings come up with it. Kapari around the back. Able to find Turcotte now up to Carl Grundstrom and back again for Turcotte. Over the line. Looking. Tobias Bjornfot. Tries to get into a little bit of space. Quinn Hughes was there though. And here come the Canucks yet again. Bo Horvat. He cuts back. Bank pass intercepted by Toby Bjornfot. Now Alex Turcotte, the captain. Has a little bit of space, but he'll drop it back. Kapari tries to get into the zone. He can't. Chance now again for the Canucks on the counter here. Down into the corner. Tries to send it back to the point. Turcotte was there. Trying to find space out of the zone, and he does. Rasmus Kapari for Jakob Anisimov off the pass. And Alex Turcotte can't make the most of it. Joonas Korpisalo is there. Third line v third line. Domi v Anderson Dolan on the draw. Jarrett wins it. Marsh. Madden denied. Huge chance again. Korpisalo makes the save. Gallagher for Lehkonen. Can't get it through the traffic. Loose puck recovered by Anderson Dolan. Here's Tyler Madden yet again. Looking for space. Drops back for Forbert. Shot from the point is covered up there. Huge moment yet again. We need our top line out there. I don't know if we can ever run the fourth line. We're throwing Duchesne out there on the draw. Big chance here if he can win it against Domi, but he can't. Clean win for the former Hab. Caleb Jones looking for a bit of space. Tries to find Lehkonen. Good defense there. Here's Dylan Genther. Looking. Shooting lane. Doesn't pull the trigger. Back to the point. Clegg shot denied. Scores! Yes! Oh, thank God, the dream is alive. It deflects off of Dylan Guenther. And the Los Angeles Kings live to see another day and survive one hell of a scare from the Vancouver Canucks. How do you like us now? That was so incredibly close. But we made it work. Carter Hart and company survive. And as I mentioned, live to see another day. Hart with some big stops there in the overtime. And ultimately, I believe it was the shot. Was it from Derek Forbort, or at least the secondary assist? Right here, that was Cale Clagg's shot. Tipped in. Might have been off the defender. But regardless, what a way to win it. Carter Hart, the first star. We needed him to show up. We postulated whether or not it would be his final game in a Kings uniform. That wasn't the case, as Dylan Guenther down into the corner. Great no-look pass. Sauces it. Finds Cale Clegg in stride. Shooting lane. Low shot. And I can't tell who actually got a piece of that or not. I think it was just off the defender. It was an unfortunate turn of events. Heads up, goalie. Crazy stuff. I think Cale Clegg is going to get the registered game winner, and indeed he is not. Yes, he is. He does have the goal. Cale Clegg, the overtime hero. The LA Kings are not done yet. This journey continues all the way back to the Western Conference Final, where we will be taking on the Minnesota Wild for the right to go back to the final to defend our title in the East. It is Ottawa and Buffalo, as the Ontario Reign one win away from making it to the conference finals as well. With that, we are done here for now. You know the deal. Support the video, support the channel, check out everything in the description. And until next time, have a good one. Stay safe. And what a win for the Kings. Cale Clegg is your hero. Minnesota. Can we get past Minnesota? That's the question.